Hello and good evening. My name is John. We're here playing Sakura MMO number 3. This is part of my Steam cleaning series with every game in my Steam library. Eventually, then arbitrarily rate and review them to be able to play time. I don't quite know what's game this. Pick the games out at random. This is a Sakura game. It's going to be a visual novel. It's going to be probably a harem style game where it's some schluppy dude or schluppy gal who just gets warped to a mystical world where 3 to 6 characters throw themselves upon them. Start. If you told me 6 months ago that I'd become the most feared dark witch in the land, I wouldn't have believed you. My name was Kotone, and I used to work at a law firm in Japan. Though I was feared in a certain sense, I was still an average woman with an average job. The only way I could become a dark witch was in the realm of video games. And that's exactly what happened. I became addicted to an MMO called Aspis Online. In Aspis, I was known as Viola, and I was regarded as one of the strongest players. I owned hundreds of powerful items, I mastered most complex spells, and no one could beat me in a fight, fair or otherwise. In Aspa, I was unstoppable just like a goddess. But that was only an Aspa, and Aspis wasn't real. Though I often dreamed of stepping into Vola's shoes, leaving my dull life behind, I knew such thing would be nothing more than a fantasy. Video games, no matter how beautiful rendered, the graphics aren't real. They can never be real. At least that's what I thought, until a strange force drew me into the world, which had captivated me for so long. So it was like a Captain N situation. Yes. Exhibit A, average girl with average job. One day I woke up inside Asfa in the home. Oh, this is your character. In the homestead I furnished so lovingly. Or was that you? I don't know. I thought Asfa was a dream, but I was wrong. It was unquestionably real, and so were the people who lived in it, witches, darklings, werewolves, and all. Inside Aspas, I was the role of my character, Viola. That's why everyone calls me now, unless I'm wearing a disguise, which I often do. My reputation inside of real Aspa is just as far-reaching as it was in Aspa Online, and everyone's afraid of me. Everyone, that is, except for the low members of my harem, of course. Like I said, it's gonna be a harem game. I mean party. First, there's Neeb, my reliable maid. I don't generally like the term darkling. A demonic race, and she's fairly skilled with magic herself. She's unquestionably loyal, and she does everything I ask of her and more. I'm fond of my peculiar maid, though she can be a bit too possessive at times. Is that a demon joke? Next, there's Theon, a twitchy little thief who would swindle me out of my money in the Roseberry Forest. I was able to see through Theon's schemes and took her back to my castle to punish her for her deceit. She resisted at first, but after I saved her older sister, Holly, she warmed to me. Finally, there's Aleri, a stern but beautiful knight who used to guard the city of Mount Tyr. Eri isn't a native resident of Asa like Neve or Theon. She's a normal human who used to live in Japan like me. 1 second. I am going to do my due diligence. Is this a series? Yes. There is 3 games. Look, I buy random bundles. And that's all I know. I don't know why Lyra and I were brought to Assis in the beginning, but it didn't really bother me. I was content to simply enjoy myself, exploring the land, speaking as colorful residents, and taking various quests at the Adventurers Guild. After a run-in with the witch Gardenia, however, I learned what my true purpose is. I know why I, Erla, and a dozen other hapless humans were not so fortunate as us were brought here. There is trouble brewing on the horizon, and only we can stop it. The evil goddess Iona is plotting to escape from the underworld, where she was sealed, to bring... Wait, where she is sealed? Is she plotting to escape, or was she no longer sealed? To bring about an end to Assis for good. The crops will die, the rivers and seas will run dry, the sky will turn black, famine, disease, and death will stalk the land, no one will be able to stop her. As an ancient Asphenian legends say, Ona, once a goddess of life fertility cannot be defeated by anybody who is born in Asfa. Only those summoned to Asfa from outside the realm can deal her a fatal blow. That's what Gardenia told us, but of course, there is of course a catch. Nobody, not even that distant witch Gardenia, knows where the entrance to the underworld is. This information has long since been lost, and without it, it would be impossible to challenge the goddess. If this was an MMO, heck, if this was like an even semi-popular anything, it would be pixel by pixel, frame by frame by a YouTube video. So like, no, there's no way the underworld isn't found. Fortunately, there's a library in Astos which contains all the information in the world, simply known as the Forbidden Library. In this library, there should be a book that details where the gateway to the underworld is. Armed with this knowledge, me and my raid tag party Should be able to ambush the goddess and defeat her before she can carry out her. This is the third game of the series, and this is just where we're at. Like, there's a library. Take two other games to get to a library. Oh no, we're still. Oh gosh. However, the Forbidden Library lives up to its foreboding name. It's situated on Crescent Island, which is far from the mainland and surrounded by sharp rocks. Few have gone to Crescent Island to live to tell the tale. Crescent Island's precise location is such a well-guarded. Okay, so it's. No one knows what the island is. No one knows where the library is, and the library is the only place we can find the other Buy a map. Well-guarded secret, in fact, that many people believe exists to be nothing more than a rumor. I'm rather skeptical to myself, but Gardenia seems convinced of its existence. This could all be, and again, this could be game 1 and 2. This could all be like a dialogue versus just an expose dump. If Gardenia had enough magic knowledge to summon an eye into the world and dozens of others, as you mentioned earlier, I don't doubt that she's right about this too. I don't know where Crescent Island is, but I'll do my best to find it. We're on a boat! That's why I purchased a boat. It's a fine vessel made of polished wood with a wide deck. I don't know very much about boats, but and why should you buy it like this? But for its price, I'm sure it'll be reliable. Normally, large boats like this need equally large crew to man them, but I'm no normal woman. I flatter myself I'm a very talented mage. I use my magical power to keep the sails of my boat forever full of wind. My fellow crew members don't need to lift a finger to help me, and even if they wanted to, they couldn't. Neither Fiona nor Ella know any magic, and Neve has been too preoccupied making meals and keeping the boat clean to help. Why don't you use your magic to make boat meals and keeping the boat clean? The four of us have been at sea for almost a week, and we still haven't seen Crescent Island, but we won't give up. I know I'll find it eventually. I have to. The fate of the world hangs in the balance, and I might be the only person who can set things right. With Neve, Fionn, and Alira out by my side, I'm sure I can do it. We're all determined, focused, and motivated with nothing to stop us. At least that's what I'd like to believe, but... Yes, of course. It's really a lovely day. It seems like certain members of the party aren't taking this quite as seriously as I had hoped. Fionn, the blonde thief girl with fast fingers, looking at the ocean, sealing her eyes from the sun with one hand. You told her that there's nothing for them to do. Like, why wouldn't she be sunbathing? I'd be sunbathing. Fionn spent her life without a home. She had to steal from strangers so she could eat, and she lived on the streets for years. She was forever alert, wary of danger, and now she's on the deck of the boat tanning. Why not? As for her clothes, well, she wore nothing but undergarments and a wide, goofy smile. That's the one thing you describe is the one thing in the picture. It's not like Fiona wears that much in general. She has some sort of vendetta against clothes, but now I can see more than her than usual. It's not like I'm opposed to cute, scantily clad girls lounging in the sun, but there are better things to do she can do with her time. No, you just literally said there is nothing to do. This was the premise. This is the premise. My fellow crew members don't need to lift a finger to help me. You just said that, and now you're saying, isn't there better? No, there's nothing to do. Like, get off her back. Well, disappointed too, but not surprised they found a wasting her time like this. But it's the girl next to her that really startles me. If I didn't know any better, I think the sea air is making me hallucinate. But no, there's no doubt about it. The girl lying next to Fiona is Alira. Like Fiona, Alira's nothing but her underwear. I guess that's what it comes to their looks. I can't complain. They're certainly attractive and well endowed too. The way the sunlight plays across their long legs, so it's not particularly appealing. They sure make a nice diversion from the flat blue seas, in the flat blue sky. Now, which of them is cuter? Sure, they're both cute. I don't care. They're both so attractive, I can't decide. There's no reason I should recruit these two girls in my party other than their attempt to admittedly impressive fighting skills. Pretty girls are really are the best. They're even more nourishing than miso. What? Just good for the soul. But I can't let myself stand here gawping. Gawking? You missed the K? What in the world are they doing? Hey, Alira, aren't you enjoying yourself? What? I do feel a bit guilty about lying here doing nothing while Viola and Nia work so hard. That's right, she should feel guilty. I'll be sure to give her a piece of mind later. But sometimes it's nice to relax. That's what I said. Push yourself too hard, Alira. Do you really think so? You're always training with your sword night and day, even though there are no menus for us fights. Kind of putting me on edge. But I need to keep practicing. I can't afford to let my skills get rusty, not when we need to face the goddess. Well, let's not talk about the goddess now. She's hanging this whole trip like a bad smell. You know, this isn't just a trip. We're not going on a holiday. We need to go to the Forbidden Library. So we can find where the entrance to the underworld is and beat up that wicked goddess. I know that, but we let ourselves stress out too much, we'll never get anything done. Oh, no space. If you think about things too much, you'll paralyze yourself with nerves. And then you won't be able to do anything to help anyone. Well, you might be right. I know I'm right. That's why I should come sunbathe with me. I thought it might cheer you up. You think I need cheering up? Yeah, you've been looking super serious this last week. You haven't had a scary glint in your eyes. I figured you needed someone to help you calm down, and you wanted to help me. That's right. I can't stand seeing people who are too serious. It breaks my heart. But I thought you hated me. I hated what you did to my sister, but I never said I hated you. That was a while ago, and I'm willing to bury the hatchet if you are. Now that we're teammates, we're on this crazy life or death mission, we need to work together. If we don't learn to support one another, we'll never get anywhere here. We'll just end up going around in circles. At least that's what I think. You might have a point. Thank you, Fiona. I'm starting to feel better. The sea breeze really is pleasant. I wonder why I never noticed before. That's what I'm wearing? None of you are dressed for sailing. I mean, the other ones are sunbathing. You're dressed, but you're not dressed for sailing. Or is this your magic casting outfit? None of this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Despite their scanty appearances, this is quite a pure scene indeed. I was going to scold Lyra and phone for being lazy, but Fiona's right. Lyra does push herself too hard. I should probably let her relax. I don't want her working herself into early grave. Now, Fiona and Lyra have been accounted for, but I wonder what Neve is doing. You said she's cleaning and cooking. Maybe I'll pay her a visit. Got a light chamber music. It takes me a while to find my trust. It's a boat. Boats aren't that big. She's on the deck and neither is she in the kitchen. I can't find her in the communal bedroom either. In fact, she's in my private bedroom, which happens to be the largest room on this boat. Eve is better at making the bed. She's so focused she hasn't noticed me. I watch her fluff my pillows for a few moments, marveling how she shifts, how swift and dexterous her movements are before I decide to make my presence known. This was established who was the maid. I wasn't sure like how. Ahem. Neve jumps, her cheeks turning pink. My lady, I didn't know you were there. And I didn't know you were here either. Are you cleaning my room for me, my little maid? That's right. I know I should have made your bed earlier, but I had some other tasks to tend to. It slipped my mind. First, I had to make breakfast, then I had to gut and salt some fish Theon caught this morning, and then... It's alright, Neve. You don't need to tell every single thing you've done today. I know how hard you work. Oh, my lady, thank you very much for understanding. I'll do my best to make myself useful. You already make yourself useful. You're the most indispensable member of my crew. My lady, do you really mean that? I wouldn't say it if I didn't. At least you're not lying on the deck sunbathing like the other people. Oh, are you talking about Fion? These signs shake your head. That girl is a law unto herself. She hardly does any work, and when she does, it's begrudgingly. I don't know if maybe it's just the kerning. I keep seeing it looking like that. Like, yeah, maybe it's just really tight kerning on the app. If she weren't so important to you, my lady, I would have made her walk the plank for her insolence. Foo, foo, foo. Must be lapping. Now you're talking like a real pilot, Neve. I am? Oh my. I didn't mean to sound like one of those violent, bloodthirsty criminals, I suppose. Being on the sea for too long has started to get to me. Don't worry about it too much. I certainly find amount of bloodthirstiness rather charming. You do? It makes for a nice contrast. You're fully dressed in good manners. To answer your earlier question, though, yes, Fiona was subbing, but she wasn't alone. No, you don't mean... That's right, Illyri was with her too. Though how Fiona was able to persuade her, I'm not quite sure. But why would Illyri lie down with Fiona of all people? Thought they hated each other. Oh, I'm so glad we can rehash a conversation from 2 minutes ago. So did I. But like you said, we haven't been on the sea for quite a while. Perhaps it started to influence Illyri too. How peculiar. I would expect Fiona to slack off. That's all she's good for. But Illyri, she's always serious. What a conundrum. Neve cracks her knuckles together. Expression on her face can only be described as ominous. Would you like me to have a word with them, lady? I can be quite persuasive when I want. I don't doubt that. Neve is mild-mannered and polite for most of the time, but she has quite a fearsome temper. She isn't planning on hitting half my crew with the bolt of magic, is she? Neve's impulse control goes out the window when she loses her cool, and I don't want her blowing a hole in the side of my brand new ship. Don't worry about it, Neve. You don't need to discipline them. But they're not pulling their weight. It doesn't seem fair, Milady, that you just strain your stamina to its limit to keep the ship afloat while these ungrateful girls are doing nothing to help you. There's nothing they can do to help me. They don't know any magic. And they could help me clean your chambers, aid with the cooking. Fiona catches fish, and Lyra's been training all night and day so she can fend off enemies we might encounter. Alright, maybe they've been doing nothing, but it's still not enough. Can't forget the relaxing time. It's not when the fate of the world rests on our shoulders. I'm gonna go to the deck right now and give them a good scolding. They are exploiting your kindness and making a mockery of you. Oh, you sweet girl. Do you really think I'll ever let anyone make a mockery out of me? Well, no, but... Then you see, there's nothing to worry about. In fact, I think you might be able to learn something from Fiona's conduct, my fiery little maid. Excuse me? Eve stares at me, her lips pursed into a line. With all due respect, my lady, is some kind of joke? Do it look like I'm joking? I have no idea. Your expression never changes. No, but Neve draws a breath and puffs out her chest. What could I possibly learn from Theon, who lounges around like a cat and only works when prompted? Maybe I'm blind, but I fail to see what's so admirable about her behavior. You don't truly think she's better than I am, do you? Jeez, I think I stepped on a landmine here. Neve is so touched about things like this. How should I comfort her? When did I get to the fireworks factory? This whole episode is gonna just be like on this boat, I'm sure. I don't really feel like these are like. She's fun. Well, Fiona's a lot of fun to be with. So you mean to say you prefer company to mine? That isn't what I said. Though there is a kernel of truth in Neo's paranoid musing, but I think you work yourself too hard. There's no such thing. I'm proud to serve you, my lady. I would never forgive myself if I gave you less than 100% devotion at all times. And that is a pretty thing to say, but what about your health, Neve? My health is unimportant. But what would happen if you got sick from pushing yourself too much? That would benefit neither of us. Well, he pauses, swallows, and reconsiders. I guess that would be inconvenient. It wouldn't be a mere inconvenience. I would worry about you. I worry about you enough as it is already. Look at Neve over. Though she seems pristine and perfect as ever, there's only a surface at a glance. Close reveals the nose posture slightly hunched. Her skin is tinged sickly green, not present. And there are dark bags under her eyes, not present. Neve is getting enough sleep. She spent the last week flirting to and fro, forever occupying herself with work, quite unable to sit down and be still. She thinks she's doing me a favor, but in reality, she's just making herself ill. I think you need to let yourself relax every once in a while, Neve. If you don't, you really will get sick. I don't feel sick. I'm fit as a fiddle. I'm pleased to hear it, but your face says otherwise. Now, why don't you sit down with me for a few moments? Oh, no, I wouldn't want to waste your time, my lady. No apostrophe that time. Wasn't a waste of time offering because I care about you, Neve, and I don't want you to collapse. Now, come sit with me. Let's enjoy one another's company. Unless that is you don't want to spend time with me. Oh, no, that isn't it at all. I love spending time with you, my lady. I love it more than anything. I knew that would work. Manipulating Eve is so easy. You could just said, I'm being nice. Very good. Now sit down with me if that is strength enough to walk. Oh, of course. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Eve takes a seat beside me on the bed. Though she's no longer on her feet, she still doesn't look relaxed. Her fingers are clenched to fists, and her tail, which protrudes from the back of her dress, is switching uneasily. Oh, Neve, you still look like so on edge. I'm sorry, my lady, but I just can't help it. How can I relax knowing we've been charged with? Are you talking about the fallen god Iona? That's right. Eve shuddered upon hearing the god's name. I can't say I blame her. Goddess Iona would scare anyone in Asphalt, but she has closer ties to the Darklings than the others speak. I still don't like that term. The story goes, the gods Iona helped create life on us alongside her husband, Aaron. Aaron was a human. He created all humans, and his likeness to Iona was the Darkling. Created all Darklings on her imagination. Darkling humans lived in peace for many years, so did Lyron, until one day, once the couple had an argument. After the argument was banished to the underworld, when Aeon was allowed to live in paradise, the rest of the gods. That's why the Darkling races were vile throughout Asphalt. I believe that the prodigy of the cursed gods, all Darklings are hairy, twisted, and wicked, and one day they'll bring the word to ruin. Oh wow, that's pretty racist. That's what people say. It just seems so impossible. How can we ever hope to defeat a goddess? And not just any goddess, but one of the original creator gods of Asphalt. I'm sure there's a way if it was a possible task. Gardenia wouldn't have entrusted to us. She might be an infuriating woman, but she's shrewd, and now she pick a fight she can't win. I know. I'm trying to tell myself with that, but I can't be that confident. When I start thinking about the goddess, I get so scared I don't know what to do. That's why I've been keeping myself busy with all these tasks. I want to distract myself. That's not enough. Whenever I'm idle, I can hear the god's voice whispering to me. This is another side effect of being a Darkling. I was able to communicate with a member of the Darkling species, and her voice grows louder and louder the nearer the day of her full resurrection dawns. I don't know what Neve's going through because God's wicked whispers can't reach me, but judging by the bags underneath Neve's eye, it's placing quite a strain on her health. And what has the goddess been saying to you, Neve? Oh, the same as always. Soon the end will be upon us. Sometimes she tells me there's no point in trying to fight it, that she's going to purge all the pain and suffering in the world, and those who try to stop her are the true villains. Sounds like a so-called goddess is projecting. You shouldn't pay her any heed. I try not to, but it's hard when her voice is inside my head. I can't shut it out. It's driving me mad. I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'll do my best to help you. I won't let you suffer alone. As Zee's mistress, it's my duty to cheer up when she feels down. What can I do to ease her anxieties? Pat her on the head? Like that to be like super conversation. Sure, we'll give her a massage. I guess. You have a lot of tension in your shoulders. I think a massage is in order. I work my fingers along Neve's back, trying to ease a knot muscle beneath the surface of her skin. How does that feel? Is it good? Neve sighs softly and I grin. I'll take that as a yes then. I like just the shifting positions, like just still no expression change. My smile wandering and continue working fingers up and down her back. With while massaging her, I press my lips against Neve's ear and whisper softly, if you ever feel like this is too much, you can always talk to me. I'm here for you, don't forget that. But I just didn't want to bother you, my lady. Not when you have so much work to do already. You must be stressed already as is. I don't want to make things worse. Oh, you silly little thing. You're not adding to my worries. In fact, I worry more about your bottled up feelings. Now just lean back and jump my fingers against your skin. Okay, that's all right. This is a Sakura game, so this is kind of what was expected. I have to say, I'll say the very positive thing here is I have to say that caring about your friends and colleagues and like listening to them and understanding their position is really good. So like thumbs up for like having like a real empathetic stance to be there for your friends. Groping them, probably not the best line of attack. Cheers.